Hey girls, welcome to my channel. So today, as you can see by the title, I'm gonna do a video that's a little bit different. I did want to switch up this channel to be not only makeup but also like personal, like life situations or whatnot. I was just thinking of also doing more tutorials and other stuff like that. So this one is gonna be right now, which I want to start, showing like my progression of my pregnancy and everything, because this is a planned pregnancy. This is my third child, and it's something special, And since my baby was planned, I want to like pretty much share to my YouTube channel. Like I said, I want to share like my symptoms. Like I want to do like month to month updates or whenever I can. I don't want to say weekly updates because honestly, like especially for the first trimester right now that I'm in, it's really tough because I get sick a lot and I'm very, very fatigued. I mean, for those of you that are pregnant now or have been, you know what I'm talking about. But I just wanted to share this journey because I wanted to share what I've been through since I've started to conceive, and I wanted to share with you girls my journey basically. So let's go ahead and just start. My hair has been feeling a little bit dry lately. It's just been, oh my gosh. Anyways, so I will get to all that after. Let's go ahead and I was trying to watch a lot of videos just to see anybody, like trying to get an example like of anybody else's like symptoms, because I totally forgot. I haven't had a baby. My youngest is 9, so it's been about 9 years since I was, well, basically 9 years since I've had him, and I forgot. Now that I am pregnant, I'm remembering a lot, but it did help me. So those videos did help me when I was trying to conceive, because I was symptom spotting, and but you'll know when you're pregnant. You'll just know. I guess there's some girls that don't know, but I think you do know, but you're just not sure, but you do know in your heart that you are. But I mean, those videos did help me, like I said. So that's why I figured, you know what, let me just go ahead and okay, so this is how it started. So basically, last year I was having baby fever all last year, and then I was like, you know what, I felt like we were good, we were stable enough to finally, get there. So I don't know how this happened, you guys. My birthday came, and I had a great birthday, November 16th of last year, and I don't know what it was, but I was like, you know what, I really want a baby, and I don't know what it was though, like how I felt my boyfriend felt the same type of vibe, because that night after work when I came home, we were talking about it and everything, and we both come to the conclusion like, let's have another one, so that was amazing because we've never tried it before. Our kids were not planned, both of them, and it's nice to actually plan something. It's a good feeling, and especially when your partner wants it too, and me and him, we were young parents. I had my first son when I was 18 years old. He's a little older than, like 3 years older than me, but still, we were young parents. We didn't know. But anyways, we've been together for 19 years. I know we're not married yet, and we should be, but we're not married yet. But we know we're gonna be together, so anyways, so yeah, we both like figured out like, hey, let's do it, so then on my birthday on November 16th, we did the deed. Okay, TMI, but this is about the TTC journey, girls. So if you don't want to hear it, you don't have to watch the video, but I'm not going to be too crazy. I'm just going to basically say what I'm saying now. So anyways, so then I was like, okay, well, my periods are very irregular, So I need to regulate my cycles. That's one. I go, you know what? Let me look at other girls trying to conceive journeys and see what they get, like what they use if they're irregular like me. So I kind of like went on YouTube and put like trying to conceive with irregular periods, you know, stuff like that. So I looked it up and I found a few videos that one of them was that they took the stork tea, and that helped them regulate their cycles. There's also pre-mama, which is the same thing, but this also like kind of gives you more quantity of egg supply. I guess it kind of helps your ovaries kind of regulate more egg quantity, and also regulate your cycles, of course. And then taking prenatals before, which I've been taking prenatals since for at least 2 years prior, because it's helped my hair grow a lot. I feel that it did because my hair has grown so much for the past 5-6 years. But I totally believe that, because I remember when I was pregnant with my 2 boys, I was taking prenatal pills and my hair grew quick. And so I just started taking them already. So I was already on prenatal pills, but that was another thing. Take prenatal pills before, because that will help get your body ready for pregnancy. And then what else? That's pretty much it. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and try these things. If they don't work, I'll try something else. So mind you, before I continue, I can't say I've had how do you say it? It's been tough for me to get pregnant because I have not tried to get pregnant, you know. My kids are like 5 years apart. My oldest is 14 and my youngest now is 9. So they're 5 years apart. Like I said, I never try to conceive, so I can't say if it's gonna be hard for me, but I got this stuff. I wanted to try the supplement stuff, and also to regulate my cycles to help me out more, because like I said, I'm very irregular. There'd be times like I would have my period once a year. Like that's how bad it was, you know. So I don't know. So I was like, you know, let me try this stuff out, and if it doesn't work, I will go another route. Okay, so then I went on Amazon. I ordered the stork tea. I ordered the pre-mama, and then I ordered another thing of, oh yeah, I can't forget this one. This is like the main thing. I ordered the ovulation kit, and the ovulation kit came with 100 ovulation tests and 50 pregnancy tests. So that's another thing I got too, and that's what I also learned from these girls' channels. So thank you, girls. I wish I knew your name right now offhand, so I can kind of like, you know, shout you out. Thank you so much for your video, because it helped me so much and I learned so much. But yeah, so that's what I ordered. So I started taking the stork tea once I received it within 2 days, I believe, because it was like fast shipping, because I got Amazon Prime, so I can do the next day or the 2 days or whatever. So I got it really quickly. Then I started taking the tea. So after my birthday was over, I started like a couple days after, I started taking the tea, and then like within a couple weeks I had my period. So then I had my period like I think it was like 3 weeks or so, because it was in the beginning of December. So then my period came in December of last year, and so I also downloaded Glow app, because I wanted to also keep track when I had my period, so that way I didn't forget the date and stuff like that, and just to see where it tells me where I'm supposed to like have my fertile window and all that kind of stuff. So take a little bite. I've been craving lots of sweet stuff. What I do is I cut these strawberries and put a little bit of sugar on it. I've been craving sweet. Okay. So I had my period in December, and so I was keeping track of it on the Glow app. And so I knew in December during Christmas time I was going to be with my mom for a week for my vacation time, because you know that was the plan. So then I was like, okay, so I hope I make it on time, you know. So based on my fertile window, I would have ovulated the day after I came home, so I would have made it, right? So I wasn't testing much so once I had my period, let me go back a little bit. I started my period in the beginning of December. After I had my period, it was already getting close to the day I was leaving. So I left a week before Christmas. So then I was like, okay, the fertile window tells me this. Let me, oh shoot, I hope I don't miss it. I knew I was gonna come home a day before I ovulated, right? And I was just like, but shoot, I could still ovulate anytime, you know? So I did test like 2 days before I left because I started cramping just a little bit on my left side, and then when I went to the bathroom, I did wipe and I did see a little bit of egg white cervical mucus, and that's the sign of ovulation is about to happen. So then I was like, okay, I'm about to ovulate. This is good. I'm gonna make it. So then I stopped testing, and that's where I shouldn't have stopped. But again, I could have still missed it, you know. So but I thought I was good because when the cervical mucus like that happens, like the egg white consistency, like they say you're about to ovulate, you know. So I don't know. So then 2 days go by. Okay, I go home. I make it home on time. I'm supposed to ovulate the next day. I take a test when I get home, and it was like a really, really high peak. At this time, I didn't know how these tests worked. I was like, oh, I thought it was a positive because it was so dark. I didn't know it was, I mean, it says it's supposed to be as dark or darker, but I thought it was as dark, so I figured it was a positive. So we did the baby dance, you know, we did it at least a couple of times at night, and the next day as well. I tested again, and it was like really, really like light. So I was just like, oh, I think I ovulated. I think I made it, you know. So then I'm waiting my 2 week and taking pregnancy tests, and nothing. It's all negative. So once the 12 DPO came, 13, it was still negative. I was like, okay, I guess I missed it. I was really sad. But then again, I probably didn't ovulate because I only had pain like that one time when I wiped the cervical mucus that I saw when I was in with my mom in her hometown. I only felt a little light cramp, and that was it. So, and when I ovulate, I feel it for like 3 days. So I was just like, okay, that was weird. So then after all that, then I started taking the tea again. I also got the pre-mama. Because the pre-mama, it comes in like a little bag, and it's like a powder, like it has no flavor. So when I make my tea in the morning, I put that powder in there, stir it up, put some sugar, and I drink that. So that's what I was mixing together at that time. So then, so December, okay, so that's towards the end of December, like towards going to January, I started taking the tea. And then, let's see, then I started, okay, so then I waited for my period. So then I finally, I started my period towards the end of January. And then again, once I was over the period, and then, let's see, and then February came. So then February 8th, okay, so I started testing the ovulation, and you know, I was like, okay, so it was not even dark, not even positive whatsoever. And so then the 7th, it was negative, and then the 8th came, which was on a Friday. I woke up in the morning before work time, before I went to work, and it was a blazing positive, like darker than the control line. So I was just like, this is a positive, like I know it is a positive. So when I got to work, oh my God, mind you, I was cramping so bad. Like I mean, it was tolerable, of course, but I was cramping, like really, like it hurt. And I went to the bathroom, and as I wiped, I saw like a splat of bright blood, but I was like, where did it come out from? Because I wiped again and there was no blood. That was so weird. But they say that when you ovulate, like when it like expels from the ovary, like sometimes blood can like come out for some reason. But anyways, so I think that's what that was. So I knew I was ovulating. So right when I get home after work, we did we baby danced, and we did it like a couple times a night again. Not like because we wanted to force it, because we are very sexually active, and I'm gonna be honest, we are very sexually active. We have intercourse all the time, especially when I'm on my period. And if I am, we go in the shower. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, but we are. So yeah, we did a couple times at night, and then the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day, of course. And then finally, the third day, I started to see, I tested the ovulation, and I started to see it fade. So I think I ovulated within 48 hours. And so yeah, I started like within one DPO, I was like feeling very hungry. My stomach was feeling really empty like, but I was hungry. When I left from work on one day past ovulation, I was so tired. Like I felt like I was walking in an amusement park all day, and you know, when you're so drained and tired and your feet hurt, you come home and you just crash out. That's how I felt. So then, 2 days past ovulation, I felt the same way, and then again, 3 days past ovulation, I felt the same way, but not as much tired. But I was always hungry. Like I was eating a lot. And I was like, what the heck, you know? So then I go, but I had no idea yet. So then I would watch these videos, and not Google, I would watch these videos of other girls' symptoms, and then they had the same things too. But then people would say, oh, it's too early. And I was thinking, well, it is kind of early. How can I be having, you know, those symptoms, you know? But it's possible. Let me just tell you, it's possible. So then I didn't test at all the pregnancy test. I waited until I think it was 9 DPO or 10 DPO, one of the two. And when I tested, it was a Thursday. It was a very, very faint positive. And I was like, oh, let me just not get too excited. Let me wait till Friday. Let me see if it gets a little darker. So then I tested again the next day, and sure enough, I went to get a first response, and it was the line. You could see the line, but it was still like very faint. So 12 days past ovulation, it was still there, but they weren't getting any darker. So then I go to the doctor, and they confirmed the pregnancy, and everything was good. That weekend I was okay. I had a lot of stress that weekend though. It was a lot of things going on in my family. It was just so crazy. It was just beyond stress. So then, and then my son being sick for 2 weeks, that was just scary too. So then when Monday came, I took him to the hospital because he wasn't getting any better. And then I started cramping. It started radiating to my lower abdomen area, very low, and then it radiated to my back. But it was crampy. Like I was just like, I had to walk a little bit because it was really bad. And I was like, oh my God, you know, I was like, I hope this is normal. But it didn't feel normal. But, you know, I was just trying to like not think of anything bad. And I didn't feel nothing. I didn't feel anything wet down there or nothing. So then and then it stopped. And then after the hospital, we left. And then I get home to take a shower so I can get ready to go to work. And then all of a sudden, I pull my underwears down, and you can see the blood. The blood wasn't all crazy, but there was some blood there, and there was like a little bit of clots. And I was like, oh my God, like I just found out, you know, this is what we wanted, and then I'm miscarrying. Like, oh my God, I was just so brokenhearted. So I went to work like that. So I was like, well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just implantation, but that's too much for implantation, you know. So I was just like, but what if it's normal? I know sometimes people get like the subchorionic hemorrhage, you know, what if it was that, you know? Or I was just like thinking so many things. I called my mom. She goes, that happened to her friend, and her friend was okay, you know, but I don't know. So then I was like, you know what, I need to go to the hospital. So then I kept on bleeding. I was like, you know what, I need to leave work and go to the hospital. So I go to the hospital. There was too many people. I could not wait any longer, but I knew I was miscarrying. So then I just ended up going home. I dealt with it that whole weekend. The couple days. I called off work the next day. I kept bleeding. You know, so then the third day I go back to work. I'm still bleeding. So I knew it was a miscarriage. I tested again. I was testing my pregnancy tests, the strips that I got from the kit, and the lines are just getting lighter and lighter. So I knew it was it, you know, it was a miscarriage. But you know what, it was a really early miscarriage, so thankfully it wasn't like if I was further along, you know, because that would have been a lot. Even though it's still a lot, it's so emotionally so stressful, so sad, you know, because that's your baby and you're expecting to have a baby, you know. So anyways, so I ended up miscarrying. And then I was so devastated, you know. So then anyways, so after February ended, I miscarried February 20 something. So after that, February, March. So March came. I was like, you know, we're going to try it. My boyfriend's like, well, it's okay. We can try again. So then we ended up trying again. So then I was taking the T. I was doing the same steps I was doing before. So March, I did not ovulate. I mean, I did not have my period at all. So then it's probably because, you know, I was going through all this. So then March, so then in April, I ended up having my period. So cycle 2, I called it, because that's, you know, I tried cycle 1 and it didn't, you know, I had the miscarriage, and then now cycle 2. So let me just say something real quick. They say you're supposed to have a successful pregnancy, I guess, to decrease the chances of a miscarriage, is that you should ovulate and conceive, within 16 days after your period. If you ovulate before 16 days, there's a higher chance of a miscarriage. When you ovulate too soon, because you need some time for the luteal phase or something, you need some time for everything to work, you know, so that way it gives it time for implantation and everything else for the baby can grow and the cell, everything could, you know, formulate well. So that's what I learned, you know. So I don't know if that's why I miscarried, because I did technically ovulate before the 16 days. So I don't know if that's what it was. It could just been just because, I mean, it's out of our control, you know, but that's what I heard. So then, from a doctor. So that's why I was like, okay. So then with this cycle, so cycle 2, so, April 28th, I started my period. And, so I started my period, and then, so starting May 5th, I started testing the ovulation, and as you can see, they are like negative, of course. So then I started testing them every single day, twice a day sometimes. So the 5th I tested 3 times, and then the 6th once, the 7th once, 8. Okay, so then yeah, I tested, like, you know, 3 days for the 5th, and then the 6th one, 7 one time, the 8th. But I will do it like in the morning and then at night. You know, I will switch off the time, because there'll be times you can ovulate in the morning or in the night. You know, you just never know. So then I kept testing, and this is May 10th. So May 10th, you can start seeing it. This is the test line, so you can see it getting darker and darker and darker, and they're getting there. So finally, the 11th, about 8 p.m., I got a really, really high peak, which looks almost positive because it's as dark as the control line. And then on the 12th at 10 a.m., I got a really, really like blazing positive. You can totally tell. When I tested that morning, you couldn't even see the control line. The test line was so dark that you could barely see it, but now that it's dry, you can see it. So all through the 12th, I kept testing, and you can see they're all positive. And then let's flip it over. So again, the 12th, you can see it's still positive right here. And then the 12th, okay, I tested again. I tested like 5 times on the 12th. And then on the 13th, you can start seeing that it's still positive that one morning that I took it. And then the afternoon, it started to fade. So you can start seeing it get negative. And then finally, the 14th at 9 a.m., I tested again, and it was really negative. And I noticed when you take these tests, make sure your urine is concentrated. Like make sure you hold it for at least an hour. Like if you have to go restroom, make sure you hold it for at least 30 minutes to an hour, because the more concentrated your urine is, the more you'll get a darker you know, test line on that. You'll see it better. I remember when I would just test right when I got up in the morning, and it was just nothing. And then when I would do that and I would hold for at least an hour and then go, you can see that the darker my urine, then the darker the test line would be. So I noticed that. All right. Then 3 days past ovulation, I was feeling like very hungry again, the empty feeling in my stomach. And then let's see, I was tired, but not as tired when I got pregnant the last time, but I was still tired, gassy, and I was cramping from 1 day past ovulation all the way until still now. So I was like, okay, so why am I cramping now? I shouldn't be cramping, you know. So that's when I knew. I already knew. So 7 DPO, 8 DPO, I did not test. 9 DPO. Oh yeah, so let me just go from 1 to 5. 1 to 5, I was cramping, a mild cramps, not severe. I was hungry, like I was getting that empty feeling in my stomach and, you know, growling sensation, and I was tired. And what else? My nipples were not as tender yet. They were just they would come in tender, then they would go away. And that was all through 1 to 5 days past ovulation. Then from 6 to 7 and 8, I started to feel the same, but more sensitive nipples a little bit, but it would go away eventually. Like it come off and on, but a little bit more intense. And then I got this metallic taste in my mouth. So I forgot to have mentioned, but I did get this when I got pregnant in February when I had the miscarriage. So this time when I had it, I knew, like that's when I knew. So then on 9 days past ovulation, and I put 8 or 9 because I wasn't sure. I took a test, and you're not going to be able to see it, but it was like a very, very faint positive. Like I said, you're not going to be able to see it because it's so like barely there, but it's there. And then I started taking it again. I took more, and they were all getting, like they were all faint. As you can see, look at that right there. This was 9 days past ovulation, and this was like a little bit later, like about 1 p.m., and you can see it showing more. So you can definitely see it showing right there. But right here you can't see it on camera, but personally you can, but they're very, very, very faint. So when I took the test, I knew it was positive because it came 9 DPO. Like I mentioned, I had to take a couple of these because I knew it was a positive, because when I looked at the test, I was looking at it right when I put the urine on there. Within 2 to 3 minutes, it started to appear very faint, like a shadow. And I knew it wasn't like it wasn't just a test. Like I thought it was just a test indent or something, but I knew it wasn't because it came out within a couple minutes. Not 10 minutes, it came out in a couple minutes. And I took another one, and then another one, same exact thing. So that's when I knew it was positive. But when I took it and didn't see nothing before those 2 to 3 minutes, I was like, oh, I think I didn't do it this time. Like I just felt like I didn't conceive. But then when I saw that line, I was just like, oh, I wish I would have got it on camera. I got my own reaction. I wish I would have got it for the camera here. But I was so beyond happy. So then 10 days past ovulation, I took some more tests, and you can definitely see them now that they are getting darker, and that's a very good sign. I did on 11 days past ovulation, I took another one, it got darker. I did take I took another test, it was getting darker. I took an ovulation just to see like what it would look like. And when you do take an ovulation when you're pregnant, in the beginning, it'll come out like as a peak, like you would when you ovulate. But when you do have a higher like positive pregnancy test, it will come out like a blazing positive. So as you can see here, it's really dark. It looks like almost a positive, but not quite. But it's as dark as a control line. And then I took another HCG. You can see it getting darker and darker. So then this is 12 days past ovulation. So 12 days past ovulation, I took another ovulation test, and you can see it is a positive. And then there you go again. I took another test, a pregnancy test at 12 p.m. It got really, this is a pregnancy test, and you can see it's really dark, really dark. Like the test line is as dark as a control line, which is amazing. And then 13 DPO, I took it again, it got darker. Then I took a clear blue, and it said pregnant. I thought when I bought this, I thought it was going to be, let me just get there, hold on. I thought it was gonna have like 1 to 2 weeks or 2 to 3 weeks, but no, I got the one that just says pregnant, but it's okay. So then I ended up buying the First Response, but this is like the generic brand, the Equate, I think. So as you can see, 10 days past ovulation, it's very faint, but you can see it. 11 DPO, you can see it there a little darker. So when I got these two came together, so this was 12 days past ovulation. You can definitely see, sorry about my urine, I know, but I would make it concentrated. You can see it positive, a definite positive. It came up right away. And then that's when I took the clear blue, which you can see it is saying, it also says pregnant. So this since May 24th, has been showing pregnant, and we're already on what we were already in July 20 something. So this has been saying pregnant since May 24th. That is crazy. I am glad it does. I'm glad it says this. I wish it could stay forever, but who knows? It probably will, eventually go away because it is battery operated. But I'm surprised it stayed this long, and I was hoping it would so I can share this video. Okay, so 12 DPO, you can definitely see it darker. And then 13 DPO, it got really darker. And then 14 DPO, darker. And then 15 DPO, it was really darker, but of course after some time it will fade. This was 16 DPO. It was super darker than this, but for some reason when I look back, it looked like the dye bled all throughout here, and that's why it's like that. But other than that, it was super dark. So then I got these cheapies from Walmart, and this is from 13 DPO. I got, of course, it was a little darker there. 16 DPO, you can see it's really dark right there. And then again, it's getting darker, 17 DPO, and then 18 DPO, you can see the test line getting darker than the control line. 19 DPO, the test line is way darker than the control line. And then 20 DPO, the same thing. So I was just like, yes, I was just so excited because that's what I want. 21 days past ovulation. I was still testing because, like I said, I had a miscarriage. I just want to make sure everything's good. And as you can see, the test line is a blazing positive, way darker than the control line, of course. So 21, wait, was it 21? Yeah, 21 past ovulation. I was testing because I just wanted to make sure that this baby would stick and everything was going to be good, because that's what I wanted. I didn't want to go through that miscarriage again. I was really scared, because I didn't want that. I don't wish that upon anybody. I wish that would not ever happen to anybody. That's just a horrible feeling. So then, all right. So then, I was having these pregnancy symptoms a lot more. So let's say 4 weeks is when I started feeling them more. Until now, my nipples, oh my God, like they are so sensitive to the touch. When I shower, I can't even have the water like falling on them because it will hurt. Like, not exaggerating, because I don't like to exaggerate, but they do hurt. I won't even let my boyfriend touch my boob. Like, when he touches, like right now, like how I'm doing this, they hurt. They're very, very sensitive. They feel very, very heavy. And yeah, I just didn't like it. So then I went to get my first ultrasound at my doctor's. They wanted to make sure because I started spotting at 4 weeks. I started spotting, but it wasn't really spot like a blood. It was just brown when I wiped a little bit with a little bit of mucus, but it was just a little bit of spotting of brown blood, I guess it's brown blood, but it wasn't that much, thank God, but I wanted to make sure. So then I go to the hospital, and when I went to the hospital, they said I had a small subchorionic hemorrhage, kind of near the sac, and I was sad, but they said that it could still be fine. It could be a miscarriage, but then they say it could not be. So don't be scared, don't be alarmed. A lot of that happens, and you can have a normal pregnancy. So then I had to be on bed rest. So I was on bed rest for a while. I made a doctor's appointment right away to the OB 2 days later. And when I did, I went in. I was about 5 weeks pregnant. She said I was about 4, almost 5 weeks. So I just put 5 weeks because I was going based on my app, which ends up being correct. So here is my little baby. So they just took a quick ultrasound. It doesn't have my name on here. You'll see the one that does, but this one doesn't have my name on it because they wanted just to make sure that there was no bleeding and that there was a pregnancy, happening. So they took it. So my doctor said, yes, that is a little baby right there. You can see it's the fetal pull and everything, because when I went to the hospital, they said that there was no fetal pull yet. They were just a sac, but because it's very early. So when I went to the doctor, they just see the fetal pull right there. That little round thing is a fetal pulse. So there's my baby. Everything looks good. And then when I went on my second week, this was just last week, and there is my little baby. So they thought I was barely 4 to 5 weeks. This was like not even 2 weeks ago. But based on my app, based on my last period, it does equal right. So I am really about today I am 7 weeks and 6 days, almost 8 weeks. Tomorrow I will be 7 weeks. But this was taken 7 weeks, 4 days, and you can see the baby right there. When they zoomed in, you can see a little yolk sac, and then you can see the baby attached to it. So there's my baby. It does have my name on here, right here. Has my real name. And yeah, this is my baby. I am so happy. My due date is February 2nd of next year. And I am so beyond happy. Like so happy. I'm just glad everything's going okay so far. You know, I don't want to push up my hopes. You know, I know everything will be okay. I'm going to stay positive, but you just never know, you know. But everything so far is good. I've been feeling very sick, out of breath a lot. I'm getting hungry a little bit now, but I mean, it kind of varies from, you know, time to, like, I get sick. I get really sick. I get nauseated. I can't throw up because I don't have a lot of, so most of the time when I'm going through this, I don't eat. So there's nothing much to throw up, but I do try to force like fruit in me. I'll try to eat like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm always craving sweet stuff. I eat salads too. I try to eat a little healthier. I want to have a healthy pregnancy this time around. I don't want to gain too much weight because both of my last pregnancies I gained 100 pounds, so that's a lot. I don't want to get like that. I want to only gain about what I'm supposed to gain. So sorry about that. I do have I always burp a lot. What else? I get headaches, especially when I'm getting nauseated. I get very bad headaches. This morning I wasn't nauseated, but I woke up with a bad headache, like really bad headache. I took a Tylenol and took it away, because you can take Tylenol when you're pregnant. What else? That's basically it. I just have tender boobs right now, my nipples I should say, but it does kind of feel sore around them too. You can see like my veins all in my breast area and around my nipple area. I'm feeling bloated. Right now I'm not feeling bloated, but later on I will get bloated towards the nighttime. I always get like bloated. I feel like these little bubbly sensations, kind of like flutters in my stomach. It could just, you know, I'm not saying that the baby's moving or anything. I'm just saying I just get the little flutters. What else? I always get this nasty taste in my mouth, probably because I'm getting nauseated. I have a runny nose. My nose keeps running. What else? That's about it. I don't really have like tremendous symptoms, just besides of what I told you. But yeah, everything's going good so far. This pregnancy is not that bad, just besides the nausea, but that's just normal. But yeah, everything else is great. I'm glad everything is going well, and I'm so excited for this baby. I really hope it's a girl, but like I said, I don't care. As long as my baby is healthy, I'll be happy even if it's a boy. But that would be awesome, because I would love to have my 2 boys and 1 girl. That would just complete my family, you know. But either way, another boy would too, so that's fine. But that would be awesome too. That would be a big surprise. But anyways, girls, that's gonna be it. I will update you my pregnancy, you know, the goods and the bads. That's what I wanted to share this video, because I know it's not makeup and stuff like that, but I wanted to share my life a little bit with you girls, especially with something so special like this. So yeah, that's gonna be it, girls. At the end of this video, I'm gonna share a clip of my ultrasound. I had my son go in there and record it for me, so if you kind of see it moving all like up and down or whatever, I try to edit the best I could. But yeah, that's my 9-year-old. He tried his best, and he did a really good job at it. You know, I'm not gonna complain. He did a good job. He was recording the ultrasound for me. So yeah, so girls, thank you so much. I hope you girls enjoyed this somewhat video of me explaining my TTC journey. If you have any questions whatsoever, just go ahead and comment below. Let me know what your thoughts on the pregnancy or what you're going through. Like I said, if you have any questions about what I did to kind of help me, let me know. but yeah, so I know this is a different video, not about makeup like I mentioned, but I want this channel to be about a little bit of different things, you know, not just about makeup or unboxing or whatever. I want you girls to know me in a different like type of level, you know. I want you girls to get to know me. So, and know what I'm about and how I am as a person. That way, you know, you can get to know me more better. So, anyways, girls, thank you again. And I hope you girls like this video. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe if you haven't done so already. And hit that bell if you want to be notified, because I want to be starting to post, you know, like my month to month, or, you know, maybe whatever comes up, I'm going to post about it. So, yeah, I would do a baby bump, but there's no baby bump right now. It's just bloat, and right now I have like little mini shorts on, so I don't want to be, you know, showing everything. But once I do, probably my next video, I will show you the baby bump. But for now, let's go ahead and end this video, and I will share a clip at the end of my ultrasound. So thank you girls, and I'll see you girls on the next video. Bye.
Is basically is a bruise, so just like you have a bruise on your body,
right,
it'll heal as well.
Okay. Yeah, I had a miscarriage too this year in February. So I was like, oh, this one's
Yeah,
okay.
you didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And did they tell you how far along you were? Or if it was 2 weeks ago, because I think this baby's only gonna measure maybe 7 weeks, 7 weeks and 3. Yeah, so if you would have been under 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see the heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
That's her height?
Yeah.
Mm.
You'll see like a little light flickering.
Yeah, you'll see it all. I've got to get its heartbeat anyway, so you'll see that little flicker thing going.
Mm-hmm. You see it, baby?
Your height?
Yeah, it's a heartbeat. It's a heart.
Mm.
Okay, let's get a little heartbeat, Elizabeth. Let's see that. Let's see a little heartbeat. There you go. Baby has a little heartbeat.
Does it say the beats per minute?
Pardon?
Does it say the beats per minute?
I think it was 160 for it, but I'll have to go back.